receivers. He was kind of when things change in terms of their passing orientation and those big play wide receivers, like Amari Cooper, onto like Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs, and Devontae Smith. Like that was, from a former receiver's perspective, pretty impressive to see how they kind of changed their MO.
That is this day in SEC history back in 2008, and that was the first game of Nick Saban's second season down in T-Town. And, of course, they went on to go 12-0. Will Alabama do that? That's one of the games we'll talk about right now in this.
Here's the latest in the SEC.
First meeting in Tallahassee. Alabama leads the series 3-1-1. It is Kalen Boer's second season. Mike Norvell, they went 2-10. Did the guy eat the dog poop? Do we know if the guy has eaten the dog poop?
No. And no cornrows for Mike Norvell anymore, unfortunately.
The old school Mike Norvell headshot is awesome.
I was really hoping that was going to be the LSU-Florida bet, but...
No, there's like Anchorman. In our bet, there will be no touching of the hair. It's the Anchorman rules. Alabama at Florida State. Alabama right now, according to ESPN Bet, about a 2-touchdown favorite. Now, going to have some weather that's going to blow in, and also some injury-related news coming into that game. Jam Miller, we knew that the starting running back for the Tide, or projected starter, he's out probably to the Georgia game. What are the other? You still end up having Tim Keenan, the defensive lineman, the captain. He's out for that game, ankle injury. And then Jaden Roberts is a game-time decision on that offensive line, concussion. So there are a lot of moving factors in this game.
Why is that point spread as big as what it is?
Because Florida was absolutely atrocious last year.
Florida State was absolutely atrocious. Even without those players you mentioned on Alabama's roster, there's still a disparity in talent between where Florida State is right now and where Alabama is. I mean, this game shouldn't even be competitive. You made the argument on radio that the sense of urgency and maybe the most pressure of anybody this weekend in the SEC is on Kalen DeBoer in Alabama.
Correct.
I would agree with you if they were to lose. There's not a single chance that Alabama loses to Florida State. No disrespect to Lauren, but there is not a chance that they walk into Doak Campbell Stadium and walk out losers.
In a normal world, I would say yes. These are not normal times that we live in college football. We talked about it yesterday. I talked to Taylor Zarzer about it last night. I've never felt more naked going into a season of what I think teams are. But then when you go out there and go, what the hell happened? Like, for instance, I was like, man, Boise State, I guarantee you, they're going to absolutely crush South Florida yesterday. They're probably going to win the
What the hell do you know about either of those teams?
No, but what I'm saying is that with so much turnover.
Sound very personal when you say that.
So much turnover in all these rosters, do you truly believe that, like, I felt like we knew about these teams in 2019 or 2018 more so, but now with the transfer portal, now with no spring football games.
That's the biggest thing. It's not having access to spring practices, not seeing the spring games the way that we're used to seeing them. That does give us a feeling of being unprepared. But at the same time, we do know, one, what Florida State's roster looked like last year. Two, they went out and got a recycled quarterback that got benched against Missouri last year, so we've seen him. And three, we know the recruiting rankings that we've seen in Tuscaloosa versus Tallahassee. So I do stand by the fact that the talent discrepancy is significant.
Do we still have the Thomas Castellanos quote? Has he back? Is that a deal on here? Remember, he said Nick Saban's not coming to save you, something
Definitely
along those lines. Yeah. They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me. This was to Pete Nakos over at On3 Sports. This was didn't he get benched at Boston College last year at one point
against Missouri?
A bold strategy, Cotton, to do that against the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, moving forward from Tallahassee over to ATL coming up noon over on ABC. Tennessee and Syracuse.
You know who the head coach is now at Syracuse?
Fran Brown.
Yeah, you didn't a couple weeks ago.
I always knew who that was.
You did not.
Listen, hey, he won the Spurrier Award
for your first year as the coach.
First year coach right now. They won 10 games last year.
They did.
Put some spect on the orange, my friend.
Took many a shower since he was able to win those games. Remember, he said he didn't deserve.
Those who don't know, he does not deserve to take a bath or a shower, and his wife says he stinks if he doesn't win. Well, he won a bunch last year. The problem is they're 128th out of the country of bringing back offensive production. The only issue for Tennessee is they're 110th right? With the amount that they lose coming out this season.
Let me say this for the last time. The whole Nico thing, I think people have moved on. Everybody is obviously looking forward to seeing what the offense looks like with Joey Aguilar. But they did not win a single game last year because of the quarterback. Tell me a game that they won where Nico won the football game because he made a play.
Could you say the same thing about Joe Milton? I mean, to a certain extent, Joe Milton did not. I mean, we got punch drunk on Hendon Hooker and how good he was for the Vols in this offense and why he ran it perfectly. And since then, Heupel has been trying to find the new guy, but guess what? He still found a way to success because Tim Banks called great defense and they were able to run the ball.
Exactly.
Oh, look at you, right there.
But the Dylan Sampson production is really what I worry about, and I think it's going to be running back by committee to some degree and replacing that sort of production. But to me, it's the defense. I think Syracuse is going to have a hard time blocking that defensive front. Joshua Josephs is going to have a breakout season. We kind of waited for that last year and didn't take that as big a step forward as we thought. But there's a bunch of talent up front in that front seven, and I have complete faith in Tim Banks. So I don't know. You know, for me, it's like, all right, what can Joey Aguilar give you? Can he at least be as good as what Nico was last year? I think so. But if he could give you some of that production that remember, Hendon Hooker didn't come in as the starter. He was the backup to Joe Milton until he showed that he was better at executing that offense. We missed the explosive plays from Tennessee's offense last year. And maybe more importantly, we missed the ability to get into running tempo. Yep. When you have missed throws and dropped passes, you can't get the rhythm going and you can't get the tempo up and running the way that Tennessee typically has under Josh Heupel. And that's really what puts defenses in binds.
Low-scoring game, high-scoring game?
I would say medium scoring game.
I mean, no, I think that's a fine answer because I think we know Tennessee, they like to start off fast, but I do have some concerns about how fast they're able to start off this upcoming game. I think the over and under, yeah, there it is. It's at 50 in a hook right there. All right, that's the first game in Atlanta. The second game in Atlanta, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, the Beamer Bowl. Is, of course, son of Hall of Fame Virginia Tech head coach Frank Beamer. Shane Beamer. Did you know that? Did you know?
I didn't know they were a relation.
I can't wait to see this game, if for no other reason. It's not even Lenore Sellers. I really want to see what South Carolina's defense is going to look like after losing, the top 8 tacklers or 7 of the top 8.
You lose 3 of your 4 on the defensive line, and that really was the heart and soul of the defense last year. But I have complete faith in Clayton White. I was out at practice a couple weeks ago. As you know, the length that they recruit with in the secondary, I think this is going to be a season where there's not a ton of drop-off from where they were last year. And I don't think I could say that a couple weeks ago, but watching the way that practice went, the competitiveness, the physicality in a full pad day, what I've seen from the receivers, and I'm really excited because I do believe Nick Harbor is going to take a step forward. Everybody's kind of waiting on him. I think he has a big season this year for them.
So that one right now, South Carolina just over a touchdown favorite in that game. They've actually, the SEC has had success in those, Aflac kickoff games. I think they're 13-1 against the ACC.
That's the ones where you throw the leather helmet on afterwards.
Yeah, remember, I think Kirby's
Coach
had that.
Saban did it too.
Was that the old Chick-fil-A kickoff game, and now it's the Aflac one?
I don't speak to the sponsorship, but it is in Atlanta. Yeah,
it's just seeing Kirby back in the day with that.
I think it's funny with Coach Saban wearing it. Actually, I think it's not that he wore those helmets back in the day, but a little more.
You taking an old man shot at Coach Saban?
I never would do that.
Okay.